What's up, you plebs? YourTotalWarMaster. Thank you for the 500 subscribers again. And this is the first top 5 video that we're gonna be making for this 500 subscriber special week. We have the top 5 factions to use in Medieval 2 Retrofit. Now, it mostly refers to a hot seat, but you can also probably take some of this stuff out for a single player campaign. But yeah, it's mostly for the hot seats. I think that is the best that we go straight into it. Let's go. Don't forget to also comment your favorite factions, and let's get into it. At number 5 we have the Turks. They're a pretty good faction. They have, of course, the ability to get a jihad going on if that is allowed in the campaign. They only have their one big enemy straight off, which is Byzantium, and the Egyptians are I mean, they're kind of close, but still I feel that what Egypt has to do is to get these lands first, and that's probably take them a few turns, except if they want to like really rush to Iconium. But I just feel that if Egypt wants to attack Turks in the first 10 turns, it's gonna be quite hard. What Turks can do is they can get Nicosia probably relatively easy because it can get undefended, because no spies can reach from Byzantium's mainland there. So basically you just get a boat over here, you get spy on, go to Nicosia, and it's yours. They have some good settlements over here, Adana, Antioch, Aleppo, Odessa. They can get all of that. They don't have anyone in at the back really. They're safe from the north. From the south they're safe for at least 5 turns, I would say. They only have to focus one thing. They have good units for manual resolve because mounted archers are pretty good, and the rest of the units are pretty good as well. Yeah, I feel like they're a pretty good faction. I would put them as number 5. For number 4, I have the Moors. As well as the Turks, they can call it jihad pretty much instantly. And they only have they have a very straightforward thing to do. Is basically get Iberia. Now, what thing that could happen sometimes is that Portugal and Spain will get a connection and an alliance to try to fight you off. But you have 4 settlements at the start, which is quite good. Cordoba is a decent settlement. You can get some troops from Granada. Marrakesh is relatively safe. And if you manage to get Spain and Portugal fighting each other, then it's pretty much a GG, because they're much weaker than you are. And if you can also get France maybe somehow to help you, maybe get Pamplona, Zaragoza, and you get the rest of the Iberia, you're set for a good start. You're safe from over here. I doubt many Sicilian players will want to go all the way to Algiers. They might take Tunis, but they'll probably stop over there. They'll take Cagliari, but Algiers just seems too far. I think what Moors have to do to start is get Iberia, which should be, if it's a fair fight. If there are 2 players of similar qualities, I think that Moors can beat both Portugal and Toledo. So in that case, 3 players of the same quality. Have one of my most annoying troops, for me at least, Desert Cavalry. Of course, the Portuguese and Spanish have jinetes as well, but have good archers and Desert Archers. Probably one of the better tier 1 archers. Are there tier 2? I'm not sure. They could be tier 2, I think. Doesn't matter, but you know, the Desert Archers are pretty good. And yeah, I think that if you get Iberia, you're set for a good hot seat. Number 3 goes to Sicily, and one of the main reasons for that is that you're the faction which is from the Catholic faction that is the closest to the Pope, because you can get a nice little diplomat over here, or in this case the princess, and get some good trades going on with them. You can even try to get a crusade going on just by, I don't know, gifting them some money or giving them map info. You can get very good relations with the Pope, and if you get excommunicated, you get an assassin, you assassinate the Pope, boom, you're back in. So yeah, Sicily also has a pretty straightforward start. You basically want to get Cagliari, Tunis, you want to go down to Tripoli, and then you're set for a good hot seat, because if you get some diplomatic stuff going on, you can do whatever you want. You can go and help up here, maybe help Venice fight Milan, or help Milan fight Venice to go over here to Ragusa. I don't know, it's just a good start. You can, if you get a crusade going on over here, and if you want to, for some case, go there, that's good, although you normally want to call a crusade on some other rebel settlements. That's what normally happens. Yes. I feel like that you can really exploit the Pope. You can really work on your naval warfare. Also, Palermo is a very good settlement. Naples is a very good settlement. You can get spies off from turn 1. I think you already have one. Yes, Naples. So yeah, I feel like if you play Sicily, you should and try to get a lot of boats, and then just control this whole area, get some good deals with the Pope, and then you can basically, I mean, like, if Venice will attack you, and you'll have a very good standing with the Pope, Venice will get excommunicated. And if they get excommunicated, they have a lower public order, then they have lower income. Sometimes, if it's allowed, you're also able to call a crusade on them and beat them like that. So I feel that this is a very good faction. Coming in at number 2 is Egypt. The same as other Muslim factions, you can get a jihad going on straight off, which is, in cases where that's allowed, fantastic. Now, they're similar to Turks in some regions, as in that they basically have no straight enemy. You can get all of this for free, although Jeddah and Dongola are not the best settlements. Still, you can go there, you can get them. You have all the Holy Land, you can get Jerusalem, which of course, if you don't know, has some of the best passive or whatever traits that you get from it. Let me see, can this guy open the gate? So we exactly see what it does. Okay, let's do the auto win. Attacker. Now as you can see, Gaza's not the happiest right now, right? But what happens is, I don't actually know if it's shown over here, but you get some bonuses for public order. I think it should actually show it over here, if I'm not mistaken. Glory, 15%. That is what you get from capturing Jerusalem. And a 15% for public order is pretty darn good. As you can see, Cairo and Alexandria both give you together almost 2,500 per turn. Gaza is a good settlement for some cavalry. As you saw, you can get Jerusalem on turn 1 if you get lucky enough, or if not, maybe on turn 2. Again, you can get some boats going on straight off. Port over here, you can get a port over there. The port in Cairo is not the best because it goes over here and it's pretty useless, so I wouldn't recommend you getting that. But then you can get a port in Jerusalem, and you're like in the corner of the map, which is really good. Now eventually you will probably want to try to fight the Turks, or join up with them. Maybe go to over there, get Heraklion, get Nicosia, it depends what the Turks do. But I feel that the main difference between the Turks and Egypt is that Egypt have no one to fight at the start, really. They're really safe, no one is threatening them, they can get this Holy Land going on very quickly. And then in 5 or 10 turns they can start and maybe help actually Byzantium as well to fight the Turks, if that's the case, that these two are fighting, that Byzantium and Turks are fighting. You can probably then steamroll over to Turks, and once you have the whole of Holy Land, whole of, or most of Anatolia, you can move on to get Baghdad, you can get Jeddah, you can get Dongola down over here, and then just continue from that. Then you can probably get to Constantinople pretty much soon, and if that happens, you're almost done. And the faction that I think is the best for hot seats is actually England. Now, I might be a bit surprised by that, because it's not a Muslim faction, so you have no access to jihads. It's not really close to the Pope as well, so you would get some good deals with that. But What England has is a straightforward idea, a natural barrier, which is an island, or sea is, I guess, the barrier. You start off with 2 boats already, which is quite rare. You can get to York pretty much instantly, and your main job is to get rid of the Scottish as soon as possible. And once you get that done, then you're in a spot. You're really, really, really hard to kill, because even if like France would have half of Europe, you can just work on your navy, and they will never get to you. Of course, they will be able to get some troops across at some points, but you block their ports. You're just nobody can get to you almost. Of course, if you're really far behind, then they'll just outpower you at some point. But what you want to do as England is get rid of Scotland, get the British Isles, fence off the French. You can maybe get Rennes, you can maybe get Bruges and Antwerp as well, and you have those 4 settlements, or maybe 3 of them. Maybe Rennes goes to the French. Then you're pretty set in Europe as well. You have 3 good settlements. I think London is a very good settlement as well. Nottingham, good castle. Caen, a good castle. Basically, I don't know, it's just such a good position because it's so straightforward. The only way that Scotland can win is maybe if France helps them. But even though if that happens, okay, they can get Caen, but getting them across the English Channel is going to be extremely difficult for them. And therefore, once you get rid of the Scottish, you have the whole of Europe being slightly worried of what will be your next step. And that's why I think England is the strongest faction. It's not Muslim, it doesn't have, as I said, access to the Pope, but the natural barriers, the weak enemy in the north, that's basically all you want. Okay, that's been it for the video. As you can see, I feel that England is the strongest one. But of course, as said earlier in the video, make sure to drop it down in the comments and tell me what is your favorite faction, what is your favorite top 3 factions, what are your favorite 5 factions. I'm always keen on hearing those things. And as I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to join the Pleb Army with liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. Join my Discord and Facebook. Until next time, fuck off.